First, let's start with clothing. A sporting event is typically it's a happy event. The people who are showing up to that should be wearing either their team colors, the opposing teams, or whatever, or they're dressed for it. And more importantly, they should be dressed for the weather. Does their clothing fit the atmosphere? Does it fit what's going on? And when I say atmosphere, I mean the totality of everything, of being with the group that's there. The second thing that you want to look at is you want to start looking at the individual person as they're coming through. And it's not that you got to sit and scan every single human being. Like God, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that do a quick cursory glance. There's certain things that should stick out to you. When you look at someone, look at their facial features, look at their body type, look at their extremities. Those should all be more or less together. They should fit that particular person. If you've got someone who's got a very thin face and their extremities are narrow and are more in line with someone who's healthy, but all of a sudden their midsection is unusually bulky, that should possibly raise a red flag to you. The moment you see that, you start tracking down and start looking at their clothing. What you're looking for is some unusual features within their clothing. For example, have a look at this child here. Now he's probably 5 to 8 years old, but if you look at the shirt that he's got on, just above the chest line, you're going to see a protrusion of the shirt. It's kind of bulky and it doesn't look normal. If you've been in the third world, you've seen kids that have had what's called a pot belly. That doesn't look like that. That is more or less a foreign object that's been hidden underneath his clothing. What it was actually doing was concealing an explosive device here, and that's unfortunately one of the things that some of these guys are using. They're using kids. In this slide that you've got right here, this was the attack at the airport in Belgium. You're going to notice that 2 of the guys have gloves on their left hands, not on their right hands. And they definitely weren't impersonating Michael Jackson right there, but what they were doing, they were concealing the detonators inside their gloves that they had there. Now, to their immediate left in this slide here, you got what we call a handler. The handler's got his facial features concealed, he's got a hat pulled down, glasses on, but he's definitely making sure that these guys get into there. And when looking at that, you're looking for more or less a cluster of signs to let you know that you got something wrong here. For me, watching 2 guys wearing 2 gloves coming into a facility, that would kind of raise my suspicion, and looked immediately to the left at a third person who's with them, who's trying to conceal their identity. That would definitely kind of raise a little bit of awareness.